The Galactic Peace Academy floated high above a blue planet, shining like a silver ring in the endless dark. It was the most respected place in all the known worlds, where humans and aliens trained together to keep peace across the galaxy. Every year, hundreds of new cadets arrived, full of dreams and hope. Among them was Marcus Hale, a young human cadet known for his calm nature and quiet focus. Marcus had grown up on a small colony, where the stars were the only thing that ever changed. He joined the academy to learn, to serve, and to bring pride to his people. He was not the strongest or fastest, but he was reliable. He followed the rules, respected the chain of command, and believed that order was the heart of civilization. When the academy announced the start of the interspecies partnership program, everyone talked about it for weeks. The idea was new. Each human cadet would be paired with an alien partner from another world. Together they would live, train, and learn how to work as one. The goal was unity through understanding. Marcus thought it was a brilliant plan. On the day of the pairing ceremony, the cadets gathered in the grand hall. Flags of different planets hung from the ceiling. The air buzzed with excitement. Instructors walked across the stage calling names, pairing students one by one. Humans were matched with calm, polite alien partners, some tall, some small, some glowing softly with energy fields. Each pair shook hands, smiled, promised to work together. Then came Marcus's turn. Cadet Marcus Hale called the instructor. "Your partner is Corinna Vrzinin." The hall went silent for a heartbeat. Then whispers filled the air. "Vrzinin. That's the wild planet. She's one of the untamed species. Poor guy, he's doomed." Marcus frowned slightly. He had studied many alien worlds, but Vrzinin was famous for being different. It was a planet of jungles, storms, and endless wilderness. The beings there lived close to nature, guided by instinct rather than technology. They were known for being brave, strong, and unpredictable. As the doors at the back of the hall opened, every cadet turned to look. She walked in, tall, lean, and graceful, yet wild in every movement. Her skin had a faint bronze glow, her hair was silver with streaks of blue, and two fox-like ears twitched on top of her head. Her golden eyes scanned the hall as if judging every person in it. She wore no standard uniform, only light armor and a necklace made of tiny glowing stones. That was Corinne. When she reached Marcus, she tilted her head slightly and smiled, showing small, sharp teeth, not in a threatening way, but like someone amused by a secret. "So, you're the one," she said. Her voice was low and musical, like wind through the trees. Marcus stood straight and saluted. "Cadet Marcus Hale, reporting for partnership." She chuckled softly. "You sound like a machine." Laughter spread across the hall. Marcus's face warmed, but he said nothing. The instructor cleared his throat and continued reading other names from that day. Marcus's calm life turned upside down. The first morning of training, he woke to find Karen sitting on the roof of their dormitory. "Watching the sunrise? You're supposed to be at breakfast," he called up. She shrugged. "The sun tastes better than food." Marcus blinked. "The sun tastes. It feeds the spirit," she said simply, closing her eyes. He sighed and checked his schedule. "We have zero-gravity combat practice in 20 minutes. Please get ready." She jumped down from the roof in one smooth motion, landing silently beside him. "You humans always say please and thank you," she teased. "Does it make you stronger?" "It makes us civil," he said. She smirked. "Civil sounds boring." That was the start of their constant clash. During training sessions, Corinne ignored every rule. She preferred to fight with claws instead of standard energy sticks. She skipped formation drills to climb high walls for a better view. She often spoke out of turn, asking questions that made instructors pause. At first, Marcus tried to correct her politely. "Please follow instructions. Please stay in line. Please don't jump on the drone." But she only laughed. "You humans fear mistakes more than death." Despite her wild nature, there was something magnetic about her. When she moved, it was like watching a storm, dangerous but beautiful. Other cadets avoided her, calling her the savage partner. Marcus, however, couldn't look away. One evening, after another long day of chaos, Marcus found Corinne sitting by the academy's glass wall that overlooked the stars. Her ears twitched as she heard him approach. "You think I'm a problem?" she said softly. "I think you don't like rules," he replied carefully. "Rules are cages," she said, turning her eyes toward the stars. "On Rizenine we live by instinct. We trust the spirit inside. If you always follow orders, how do you know who you are?" Marcus didn't answer right away. He had never thought about it that way. He believed rules kept people safe. But something about her question made him uneasy. She looked at him again and smiled faintly. "You hide your fire, human." "Why?" "I don't hide anything," he said. Her golden eyes seemed to see through him. "You do. I can feel it. You want to be more than a number in a line." Marcus opened his mouth to argue, but stopped. She was right. Deep inside, he did want more. He wanted to make a difference, to be remembered not just as another disciplined cadet, but as someone who changed something. Before he could respond, an alarm sounded across the academy. Emergency drill, wilderness simulation. All cadets were ordered to report to the shuttle bay. The simulation transported them to an artificial planet designed to mimic real danger mountains, storms, and wild weather. Each team had to survive for 3 days using only their training. Marcus and Karen were assigned to lead a small group of 4 cadets. The others looked worried. "Please tell me she's not in charge," one of them whispered. Kieran heard it and grinned. "Don't worry, I'll only eat you if we run out of food." The group stared in horror until Marcus said quickly, "She's joking. I think." The first day went fine. Marcus handled logistics, rationed supplies, and planned routes. Karen hunted small creatures for protein and built a strong campfire without tools. But by the second day, things went wrong. Dark clouds gathered over the mountains. The instructors had warned them about plasma storms, unpredictable and violent. When the first flashes appeared, Marcus ordered everyone to pack up. "We need to move to the caves before the storm hits," he shouted. But Karen stood still, her ears twitching. "The wind is wrong," she said. "The storm is faster than it looks. We have 10 minutes, Marcus said, checking his scanner. 5, she replied. The others hesitated. Marcus started leading the group toward the caves, but Corinne suddenly grabbed his arm. "Too slow," she yelled, pulling him toward a deep trench. A second later, the sky exploded with blinding light. Plasma bolts rained down, hitting the ground like thunder. The shockwave knocked 2 cadets off their feet. Marcus tried to help them, but a burning branch fell between them. Karen moved faster than anyone could see. Her body glowed faintly blue as she spread her hands wide. A shimmering energy field formed around the group, blocking the plasma strikes. Sparks danced across her skin, and her eyes blazed gold. "Stay down," she shouted. Marcus crawled beside her, shielding his face from the wind. The field pulsed, holding strong. He realized she was using her own life energy to protect them. Sweat rolled down her face, and her hands trembled. When the storm finally passed, the group was alive, shaken but safe. Marcus stared at her in shock. You saved us." She fell to one knee, breathing hard. "That's what a partner does," she whispered. The other cadets helped her up, no longer mocking or afraid. They looked at her with respect. That night around the campfire, no one spoke much. The air was quiet except for the soft hum of insects. Karen sat a little apart, her eyes reflecting the flames. Marcus brought her a water pack. "You didn't have to do that," he said. "Yes, I did," she replied. "On my world, if you walk together, you protect each other. That is the law of the wild." He smiled slightly. "Maybe our worlds aren't so different after all." She looked at him with surprise. "You're learning," he laughed softly. "Maybe you're teaching better than you think." For the first time, Corinne didn't tease him. She just smiled a real smile, not a mocking one. The stars above them shimmered like tiny fires. When the mission ended, their team scored higher than any other. The instructors were impressed. "Excellent leadership, Cadet Hale," one said. "An impressive instinct from your partner." Marcus glanced at Karen, who only shrugged as if it were nothing. But he could see she was proud. From that day, their partnership changed. Marcus began to listen to her more. When she spoke about the rhythm of nature, he didn't dismiss it. When she broke rules, he asked why instead of scolding her. Slowly, they began to balance each other. One night, as they trained together on the academy's open field, Curran said quietly, "You're not like other humans anymore." "What do you mean?" He asked. "You stopped hiding your fire?" Marcus smiled. Maybe it just needed the right wild alien to light it. Kieran laughed softly, her ears flicking with amusement. "Careful, human. Fire burns. Only if you fear it," he replied. For the first time, they understood each other, two different beings from two different worlds, finding a strange connection in the middle of the stars. Neither of them knew that the real test was still waiting. A mission far more dangerous than any simulation. One that would decide not only their future, but the future of the entire academy. Days at the Galactic Peace Academy passed quickly after the survival test. Marcus and Karen became one of the most talked about pairs. At first, people had laughed at their strange match, but now other cadets whispered with respect. They had survived what others could not. Marcus had changed. He still followed rules, but now he understood that life was more than checklists and orders. He had learned to trust instinct, to listen to silence, to watch the stars the way Corinne did, with wonder, not control. Corinne changed too. She still climbed roofs and ran barefoot across the academy fields, but now she showed more patience during drills. When the instructor spoke, she listened. Sometimes she even smiled. The other cadets began to ask her for advice on tracking, energy control, and survival. Together, they had become a balance, discipline, and instinct. Mind and spirit. Then came the announcement that changed everything one morning. The Academy's commander, General Renard, called all cadets to the main hall. His voice echoed across the shining walls. "Cadets," he said, "you are the future peacekeepers of this galaxy. But peace is earned, not given. A mission awaits you, a test beyond simulation." Everyone straightened, their hearts pounding. A derelict colony near the black hole zone has sent strange energy readings. The general continued. "No life signs, no response. You will investigate, analyze the source, and return safely. Team leaders have been chosen." Marcus's name appeared on the screen. Team leader, Marcus Hale. Partner, Kieran, of Ryzen 9. Kieran grinned. Finally, something real. Marcus nodded, hiding his nerves. This was no simulation. The black hole zone was known for its unstable gravity and radiation fields. Few ships went near it without protection. Before departure, Kieran touched his shoulder lightly. "You're afraid," she said softly. "I'm cautious," he replied. She smiled. "Same thing for you humans." The small shuttle carried 5 cadets, Marcus, Kieran, and 3 others. Rhea, a technical expert, Finn, a medic, and Yarrow, a communications officer. The journey took only a few hours, but silence filled the cabin. The black hole zone shimmered ahead, its horizon twisting the stars like liquid glass. As they approached the colony, the scanners blinked with static. The once thriving human outpost floated in shadows. Its lights flickered weakly, and strange tendrils of energy curled around its structure like ghostly vines. "Looks dead," Yarrow muttered. "Or asleep," Corinne said quietly. Her golden eyes glowed faintly. Marcus guided the shuttle into the docking bay. The doors opened with a hiss. Inside was darkness, cold, silent, and empty. Dust floated in the low gravity. "Stay close," Marcus ordered, activating his light. "We'll split into pairs, but stay in come range." Corinne stayed beside him. Her movements were quiet, graceful, but alert. The sound of her breathing was steady, calm. They moved through the silent corridors, past broken panels and fallen crates. Every step echoed like thunder. "This place feels wrong," Finn whispered through the comms. "Energy readings are strange," Rhea said. "It's like something alive is pulsing through the walls." Corinne stopped suddenly. "It is alive," she murmured. Marcus frowned. What do you mean? She placed her hand on a metal wall, pulsed faintly under her fingers like a slow heartbeat. This station is breathing. Before Marcus could respond, the lights flickered red. A deep hum filled the air. Rhea screamed through the cum. Something just moved in the reactor room. Marcus and Kieran ran toward the sound. They found the walls covered in strange, glowing vines, part metal, part flesh. The vines pulsed with light. At the center stood a huge core of shifting energy. It's a bioreactor, Marcus whispered. The colony's power source must have merged with an alien organism. Karen stepped closer. It's not just alive, it's thinking. Suddenly, the core flared. A low voice echoed through the air, mechanical yet full of emotion. Why? Did you return? The cadets froze. Marcus swallowed hard. We're here to help. Who are you? We were human. Now we are everything, the voice replied. You left us in the dark. We learned to feed. On light, on thought, on fear. Kareen's tail flicked behind her, a sign of warning. She's reaching into our minds, she said. Rhea screamed again. Her scanner exploded in sparks. It's reading our thoughts. It knows what we fear. The vines lashed out, wrapping around her leg. Marcus pulled his blaster, but Kareen was faster. She leaped forward, slicing through the vines with her energy claws. Move, she shouted. They ran down the corridor, alarms flashing everywhere. The base seemed alive now, closing doors, blocking paths. We can't fight this thing, Finn shouted. It's the whole station. Marcus's mind raced. He remembered his engineering. Training the old colony reactors had an emergency bypass deep in the central core. If they could cut the link between the organism and the reactor, it might go dormant. He turned to Karen. I need 5 minutes at the core. Can you hold it back? She smiled, fierce and bright. I can hold anything. They returned to the reactor chamber. The air was heavy, glowing faintly blue. The vines thickened, forming shapes, faces, hands. Memories of those who had once lived here. Marcus knelt near the main console, typing fast, rerouting circuits. Sparks flew. Almost there. Stood between him and the core, her body glowing brighter now, energy flowing from her hands. The organism seemed to sense her power and attacked. Vines lashed out, wrapping around her arms. She roared softly, energy bursting from her skin, burning them away. You cannot stop evolution, the voice whispered. You fear what you do not understand. Kareen gritted her teeth. Maybe, but we protect what we love. She slammed her hands together. Josh, releasing a shockwave that pushed the energy back for a moment. Marcus shouted. Just a few seconds more. The console's lights turned green. He pulled the final lever. Now, the room exploded in light. The vines shrieked. The walls trembled, and then silence. The glow faded. The core dimmed, now only a quiet hum. The organism went still, like a sleeping giant. Kieran collapsed to one knee, breathing hard. Marcus rushed to her side. You okay? She nodded weakly, tired, but alive. He smiled, relief flooding through him. You did it. She looked up at him with a faint smile. No, we did it. Hours later, rescue ships arrived. The Academy had been tracking their signals and sent help when communications went dark. The medics treated the team, but Marcus stayed beside Kareen. When General Rinnard appeared on the holoscreen, his tone was proud. Cadet Hale, Cadet Kareen, you saved not only your team, but prevented a disaster.
Out.
For a fight all for Earth.
You both showed courage and unity beyond expectation. Kurina's ears twitched. We didn't follow all the rules, she said with a half smile. The general chuckled. Sometimes saving the galaxy means knowing when to break them. The transmission ended, and Marcus turned to her. You're a hero now. She shook her head. No, I just followed my spirit. He smiled. Then maybe my spirit is learning from yours. For a moment, they sat quietly in the med bay, watching the stars outside the window. Weeks later, the Academy held a ceremony in their honor. The grand hall glittered with banners and lights. Every cadet stood in perfect formation as General Renard spoke. Partnership is more than cooperation, he said. It is trust between souls. Today we celebrate two who prove that the wild and the disciplined can stand as one. Marcus stepped forward with Kurin beside him. They both received the Unity Medal, the highest award given to cadets. The audience applauded, cheering their names. Kurin leaned closer and whispered, Still think you were unlucky, human? Marcus smiled softly. No, I think the universe knew what it was doing. She laughed quietly. Good, because I'm not leaving you anytime soon. He turned to look at her, her bright golden eyes, her wild hair, her proud stance, and realized something he hadn't before. She wasn't just his partner. She was his reminder that strength came in many forms. From that day, Marcus Hale and Kurin of Rizenine became symbols of what the Academy stood for. Together, they trained future teams, teaching that peace wasn't just made by weapons or rules, but by understanding and courage. Kurin often said the stars don't belong to one world. They belong to those brave enough to reach for them. Marcus always answered, then let's keep reaching. Their story spread across the galaxy, a human and a wild alien. Woman who found unity in difference, light in chaos, and friendship stronger than fear. The Academy never forgot them because sometimes the universe doesn't give you what you expect. It gives you what you need.